Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Asian Dungeon Master. My name is Benson, a Toronto-based Dungeon Master, and today we're going to be talking about character creation and part one of that, a character concept. Now your character is so much more than about killing stuff and doing cool things. I know a lot of you love that. That's one of the things I love about D&D and role-playing games is the amazing cool things you can do and the vast amount of ways that you can kill people, by blasting them with fire, to slicing them in half with your sword, to shooting them from distance with your bow and arrow. However, over time, as I've been a player and as a DM, and I've seen other people kind of build their characters, what I've noticed is that they've regretted building weak or shallow or two-dimensional characters. This has affected their experience of playing D&D in many ways. They find that their interactions are limited, their storylines are limited, the things that they can do are sort of limited outside of combat. So today I want to talk about your character concept. We're going to start with description. Now description is what your character looks like, but I would challenge you that it's so much more than that. It can be how your character presents themselves, how your character comes off to other people. Oftentimes in the world, your description is the first thing that other players, the DM, and other NPCs interact with. It's their first impression of your character, and this can be a really strong tool for expression. It can be a really strong tool for you to really make your mark and make your character memorable. So what does your character look like? Are they tall? Are they short? Are they fat? Are they skinny? Are they young? Are they old? Do they have ridiculous colored hair? Do they have horns sticking out that are long? Do they have a tail? What does your character look like? Are they wearing plate armor? Do they wield many weapons? Are they maybe more secretive and sort of reserved in how they act and who they are? Are they soft-spoken? Or are they loud and boisterous and laugh? And are this big personality? Who is your character? What do they look like? Describe them. This will often start shaping what your character is and who your character is and what they will be doing. The second thing I want to bring up is game mechanics. This might seem kind of interesting when talking about character concept, but D&D is ultimately a game. It's a role-playing game and it's an experience, but even though that we act and we take on personas, there are rules of this game, and thus there being rules, there are mechanics. Game mechanics can be classified as the rules of interaction and engagement within the game. This can be things like rolling dice to see if you're persuasive enough, or rolling dice to see if you jump over this large gap, various things like that. Knowing the game mechanics will help you dictate which game mechanics you want to engage with. In D&D, there's all sorts of different game mechanics that can be specific to your character, to your class, to your race, to what you want to do. So what kind of game mechanics are you interested in? Do you want to play a half-orc who can take a beating, and even though a normal human would be felled, he or she is not? Do you want to play a druid who can turn into a little squirrel and climb up a tree, or sneak past a guard by becoming a rat? Do you want to be a wizard who can learn spells from ancient ruins and cast incantations? Various things like that. These are some of the game mechanics within the game. I know that for me, one of the characters that I built, his name is Lodark Brightbeard, and he's a paladin, and one of the game mechanics that I love about him is he has this amazing ability called Divine Smite. I love using Divine Smite. It allows me to channel divine energy into my mace and just bump up the amount of dice I can roll when I do damage to an opponent, and I just love it. The game mechanics that you choose to engage with are part of your character concept. They'll help guide and start shaping the mark and the distinct sort of personality and the distinct look and feel of your character. So I encourage you to look at some game mechanics within the game. We're gonna go through some of them. I'm gonna be releasing videos about classes and races very soon. Look at the game mechanics within the game and look at what you want to use. How do you want to play? You know, if you want to be a magic user, that's gonna dictate certain things and paths that you're gonna go. If you want to fight with martial weapons with a sword, that's going to dictate some of your decisions, and it's going to really affect your character concept. The third thing I want you to consider when talking about your character concept is, who are you? Who are you? This can start with a name, this can start with a story, but there's a couple things I want to go through that sort of dictate who you are, or can get us on the right track. The first thing is your alignment. In D&D, it's a thing that they suggest. Often it's a grid from lawful, neutral, and chaotic, which in my opinion sort of dictates your social interactions. If you're lawful, then you generally follow the rules of society, of engagement. You generally listen to the things that you're told or what you're quote unquote supposed to do. If you're neutral, it's kind of situational. If you're chaotic, you're a bit of a rebel. Maybe you don't like the rules, maybe you don't like authority, various things like that. So lawful, neutral, and chaotic, in my opinion, sort of dictate your social interactions. The other one I would call is sort of your moral interactions, or have to do with morality. They have good, neutral, and evil. Good being that you're a good person, you try and do the right thing. Right? This has to do a lot more with morality and decisions that you're gonna make. For me, neutral is sort of situational, but for me, the baseline for neutral is sort of selfishness, right? We tend to look out for ourselves in life, if we're really honest. You know, maybe there's a couple people or a couple things that we're willing to really put our neck on the line for, but generally we look out for ourselves. I would say that this is neutral, and I'm actually going to make a video all about alignment very soon. The last one is evil. I think it's really hard for people to play evil characters, because for me, in terms of morality, to play an evil character, you have to kind of be a dick. You have to be cruel, you have to be unconsiderate. You know, it's not impossible, but I generally try and guide players away from that, because it's hard to be mean. Other players are probably not gonna like your character very much. So that's alignment. The second thing I want to talk about when it comes to who you are your character traits. In terms of your character concept, imagine, is your character a loving character? Are they compassionate? Are they proud? Are they selfish? Are they sly? Are they reserved? Are they boisterous? Are they strong? Are they compassionate towards others? Are they sort of in it for themselves? Are they a lone wolf? Do they value cooperation? Are they a leader, or are they a follower? These are some examples of character traits. It's good to pick some traits that are going to build the pillars of who your character is. Back to my character, Lowdark Brightbeard. He's sort of this over-the-top hero personality, so he's very proud. He thinks he's very strong. He's actually also very protective, and he values equality and friendliness and working together. There's some character traits that I would suggest you think about when coming up with your character concept. The last thing I want you to think about is your morality, values, and beliefs. What are some things that your character would never do? What are some things that your character would never do? What are some things that your character is always going to stand up for? They're always going to speak up. They can't stand when X happens. What's important to them? And what don't they care about at all? So Lowdark Brightbeard, for example, is a hobgoblin, so he's part of a goblin tribe. And even though within the goblin tribe there's a ranking system, almost like a caste system, he likes to look out for the little goblins, even though he's a big 7-foot tall hobgoblin. So even if a little tiny goblin is being picked on, Lowdark Brightbeard is probably going to come in and say something about it. These are some sort of beliefs or values that our characters can have, and really are going to shape their interaction with the world. If they believe in a god, or a particular code, or believe in someone, these are important things to think about. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video. Next week, I'm going to come out with a second video where we're going to talk about backstory. I think this is so important to our characters. Check that video out when it comes out. If you like this video, click the like button below. If you want to see more content, click subscribe, including the little bell on the right, so you get notifications as to when I'm posting out videos. I'm going to be trying to post videos every single week. And until next time, keep rolling.